Hi everyone, welcome to Stamping Flair on this Wednesday for my creative escape, which I hold every Wednesday night. It's my regular Facebook Live, so if you hop on every week, thank you so much, and I hope if this is your first time that you will become a regular. Uh, I'll just give a few moments. I know I'm a bit late, so I'm sorry for that. I was running around a bit and then time got away, so I'm here right now and I'm just making sure that I am in the right spot, that everything's good. Hope you have had a good week and that everything has gone well with you and that you are keeping well. And I'm just please say hi if you're with me, and if you're watching on the replay as well, say hello, comment, and like and share. That's really valuable to me as you share these videos, because it helps me and it gives someone else some joy when they share some crafting, and they might find some value in that as well. Hi Debbie, thanks for joining me. So nice to see you. So today I have got I'm working with the Nature's Harvest bundle, which is also the Harvest Meadow suite, which has been my product of the week. I love this suite. I've just started this week creating with it, but I just really love it, and it's very easy to work with. Maybe it is my style, I don't know, but it's just a really easy suite to create with. The colors are really nice. The dyes are really easy to work with. I'm doing something with a different technique to what you may have seen me. I'm doing different to what I did Monday, I think was my last live I did. So it's a little bit different. I've actually created this for a blog hop, which is going live on my blog at 8 o'clock. It's for Around the World on Wednesday blog hop. So you are getting it a little bit earlier than when it is going live. If you haven't ever checked out that blog hop, I would encourage you to have a look at that. We have got some absolutely amazing creators there. Our design team is fantastic, and you're going to see some inspirational projects there, so please hop on. It's all about changing seasons, so I have chosen this particular bundle to work with and the suite. So I'm not working with everything in the suite, but I'm working with some of the projects. So just so you know where you are with Rochelle Leedsmith at Stamping Flair, and I am based in Melbourne. So if you would like a copy of the current catalogue or catalogues, please contact me and I will get back to you. So any orders or you make that are over $90, you can earn a free celebration product. So there's a tier 1 of $90, you get free products, and there's a $180 level as well. So there's two lots of products there. So anything above 90, you can get a free product. So that is something going on till the 30th of September. If you haven't experienced Stampin' Up before or celebration before, just by way of explanation, that's what it's about. So there's no limits to how many free products you earn. So any increment of $90, you earn more products. So that's a good incentive for you to even collect your staples. Another joint option we have is a starter kit offer, which is normally $169, and you can choose $235 off product. You also get, during this promotion until the 30th of September, you can select a free bundle out of a selection of 12, and this Nature's Harvest bundle is one of them. So I'm just letting you know so that you have all your options available, so you can select what's best for you. So I'll turn the camera over now, and this is the Harvest Meadow suite, and I have run through this, but I like to do that each time. So this is in our mini catalog, and it's on page 54. So it's a July to December mini catalog. It has heaps of Christmas product, but it's got others as well. And this is what is contained in the catalog, in the suite, sorry. And you get a lovely embossing folder, which we'll be using today. Some embellishments, ribbon, This cork paper, I would say, is one of my top fives in this catalog, and the designer series paper is really pretty. That's the stamp set, and of course the dies. So that's the suite in itself. You can purchase it in its entirety at $176. So another $4 and you will get 2 free celebration rewards, or the $90 value ones, or the 90 range ones, or $180 range one. You'll get 1 reward, or you can add that to a starter kit. So that's some ways you can get that. So let's get creating, and I will post this to YouTube. I know some people don't have Facebook, so I always try to give you the options of viewing it in other ways as well, so you can see it. And I've run in the house basically, and I flew in the door. I went to get some takeout and then I said I did the quickest organizing of this live, and I prepared everything, so that was good. Have I frozen? No, I haven't. It's all good. Okay, so the colors I'm using today, this is my color scheme, which is some pumpkin pie, cinnamon cider, soft succulent. I'm also using some bumblebee. Now this has been inspired by Sunday Stamps color challenge as well, so I'm incorporating a couple of color challenges in there. So that's very autumn like colors. You will need a water painter. In your water painters you get three different widths, and so you can use, so you get a pack. I think they're around 21, I could be wrong, but it's around that mark there in a pack. And you will also need the refills that go with these colors, so I'll show you them. So anytime you buy your your ink pads, I would recommend that you buy the refills, so you always have them on hand. So these I've already taken what I need out of them, but these are what our refills look like. Okay, so this is the Nature's Harvest stamp set, and I will be using this image. It's a cling stamp. You will also need your StazOn ink. Now I have Saddle Brown StazOn because I wanted a more softer look to go with my browns and my autumn colors. I have been using Saddle Brown a little bit more than I had in a while, but it has come in handy. So because we're using watercoloring, I'm using the StazOn. Just get my bits and pieces out. For my watercoloring, I'm using shimmery white cardstock. Apologies, that's a bit crooked. Fix that up. Let me know if everything's clear and you can hear me, and if there's any issues, just let me know that as well. So I'm just inking that with StazOn. So with a larger stamp, it's easier sometimes to go turn the stamp upside down. So, and this is not the stamp itself, but the block upside down, and then you can get the inking. So this is shimmery white cardstock. I will be sharing this tutorial on my newsletter, which will be going later on this week. So if you would like the tutorial for this, please subscribe to my newsletter. I will put the link up in the comments so you can subscribe to that. So you'll have all your measurements and things like that. So I've got my water painter. I've got the thinnest one of that with the narrowest brush. Bring in just a bit of scrap. And what I've done, I've put a drop of the ink refill there, so I'm not going to do it again, but I have already done that. So I've got pumpkin pie, so that's bumblebee, pumpkin pie, so that's how little I need. Bit of cinnamon cider for now. And I've got a bit of just regular tissue just to rub off my excess, which I've got in my hand here. So I'll start with bumblebee. Just going to give this a clean because I had used it for the leaves before. Now, I do make it watery, but then I try to take off quite a bit, so I'm not working with an excessively wet brush. And then it gives me a little bit more control. And we're just going to color that in. Now, with using Stays On, which is what I've stamped with, the ink won't run, or the color won't run. Especially when you're doing a lot of blending. There are times I do throw the rule book out and I use watercoloring to stamp, and then I color with watercolors as well, but with minimal blending and things like that. So you can add it, just squeeze it, and it's got water in it, and it opens up, and you just fill it with water. But I'm just taking the excess water, so I don't have heaps of others. It runs. It also depends what project you're working on. It's better to have a little, and then you can kind of work into it. So you can see how far this goes, right? You don't need a lot. The ink refills last forever and a day. I'm bringing in pumpkin pie. Just trying to get back my view. Okay, so pumpkin pie is just a teeny weeny bit there. I'm just going to do a little more blending. So you want a bit of color around the edges. So it allows you to have, by not putting too much water, it gives you a bit more control. Just going in a bit like that, and I am dragging it a bit up into the center there so that it does blend in better. I will go back in with that bumblebee again, but now I'm going into the cinnamon cider. Just be careful with your darker colors, they are stronger, so you just want to be just a bit light on with that, so you can drag that. I'm just adding more shading, and then I'll fill in that area. The Stays On is a little bit, the subtle brown is a little bit like cinnamon cider, you could say. Alright, so I'm done with the cinnamon cider for now. I'm done with the pumpkin pie. I'll bring back my, just squeeze the center there and just wash that out, and I'll go in with the bumblebee again. So I just want a little lighter touch there, and you can leave bits of white. It gives it more like the light has hit it, and it's nice. Okay, So we've colored in the flower. Now we'll bring in soft succulent. So make sure it's nice and clean. And we'll color in our leaves. If you want to add more depth to the color, you can go definitely go back. I've got the full supply list on my blog post, so you can order what products you need. You can order it online, or you can call me or message me or text me, whatever you're comfortable with, and I can place that order for you. We're already the 8th of September, so celebrations only till the 30th, so it's a good time to get some free stuff. And then I'll go back in just to give a bit of highlight, just like that. So just adding, so it's not super wet, it's just enough to stretch that color a bit and let it. But because the marks or the lines are there from the stamp, you don't have to really think about what you're coloring. It's pretty easy. So we've done what we need to do there. With your StazOn, you do need a special StazOn cleaner. So this is it, just so you get it cleaned properly. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave that aside for now, and I'll die cut it later, just in a minute. The next thing I'm gonna do is do some extra die cutting. I'm using Very Vanilla, and that's gonna be my main the color I'm using. I'm not using basic white. So these are the, I'll get all of my bits and pieces out. So we're going to die cut that image from that, and then we'll die cut two of these like sprigs from the Very Vanilla. So I've just I've doctored that up a bit, so I want to show you what I do. Sometimes if you don't want really bright colors, I don't cut it out of the cardstock, of the actual cardstock color. So I'll bring in my big die cutting machine. So this is our stamping cut and emboss machine. All our plates, they're set up for die cutting. I will do some embossing later as well, so you can see that. Just gonna move all my bits and pieces. All right. So first, this is some of the designer series paper that comes in that set, so in that suite. So I am just cutting one of that out. Because I'm using that color challenge as well, so I'm trying to bring in that soft succulent in. It's good to do some color challenges and things like that. It makes you think, and it also, sketch challenges are great. Just makes you really work differently and have to think outside the square sometimes. So that's that piece, you will see. I'll set that aside. Then I'll bring in our very vanilla cardstock. And we'll die cut 2 of these. If you can hear the piano, it's my partner Adrian, who's having a Zoom choir practice. So he's playing the piano while they're having a choir practice. That's the way these days, isn't it? Everything's on Zoom. My little take a pic tool has gone walkabout. So that's one, and we need another one. And this one. So I'm just getting all the die cutting done. Let's we'll try and do as much as we can with the machine, so that then we can assemble and all the rest of it. That's done. Next, what we're gonna do, we'll die cut this, and I will need my little thingy. I've still got a bit more to do. There's a few little layers to this little card. I like my layers. It's a bit like dressing up in layers, isn't it? That's what you have to do in spring. Hot 1 minute, cold the next. Well, I'm in spring. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Where are you guys from? You might be on the other side of the world. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that aside. I've got some embossing to do. Hang on. I will have a little more die cutting, but I want to explain what I'm doing before I do that. Alright, then what I've got is a piece of very vanilla cardstock, which I am just going to, which I did have, it's done the vanishing trick on me, so I will cut another one. So it's just 9.9 by 14.2. This will do. So I'm just cutting one up, and we're just going to emboss it with the embossing folder that comes in this suite. It's called the Time Worn Embossing Folder, and it is lovely and textured. Just that old world look about it. That's that. So you can see that there. So it has a nice look up. You can see that. It's really pretty. that's a 6x6. So the first thing I'll do is glue that on our card. So that's just simple. I'm just getting rid of it so we don't like lose it, or I don't lose it, which I tend to. Things just tend to disappear on my desk. Did they disappear on your desk? So I had it 1 minute ago. It's gone. It's like magic. Next thing I have is some blending brushes, and we will bring in some pumpkin pie and cinnamon cider. Now I have these two twigs, I don't know, twigs I would call them, which we cut out of very vanilla cardstock. We're just gonna add some color to these. Now, instead of cutting them out of cinnamon cider and the color being quite stark, this is something I like to do. It just gives me a little bit a better way to add more softer look. So I'm just kind of just adding this quite dark, but it still gives the darkness of the cinnamon cider. But it has variation in the color, like, okay, so that's one. And I have some white spots, but I'm gonna fix that up. Some really, and you can build up that color. Okay. So that's that. I'll leave it open if I need it. Now I'm gonna take the pumpkin pie. I'll bring that in there, and it just adds a nice dimension to this. And I'll probably go over it with a bit of more cinnamon cider, sort of really making that a bit more nice color. Can you see that? This is just a nice way to get some mixer color happening. I'm going back with my cinnamon cider, fixing, just adding a bit more depth there. So where I want, till I'm totally happy with that result. That's your little twigs done. I'll put them aside, and I will clean my fingers because I'm working with very vanilla cardstock, and I'm likely to get that on my nice clean card. I'm looking at my sample, making sure I don't miss anything, because I've done a bit of layering and etc. on it. No. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just stick these down. Just a word of advice: when you do stick this down and add the glue, make sure where you put it is where it's going to be, because of the color on it. These are water-based colors, the liquid. Like if you put it on there and then you go, I want to move it, it might leave the color on your nice clean cardstock. So it's just something you're just going to want to be aware of, because it happened to me, and then I managed to camouflage it, but it's something to be aware of. And you can camouflage it, it's possible. Just put another leaf or something. Embellish. I'm just putting little dots of glue. It's just that it's quite heavy on the color. Then I'll bring in that piece of soft succulent designer series paper, which I cut out before, and I'm gonna lay that down there. You just want really at the ends. I love this paper. It's just everything is so nice in it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If I miss it, I'll always go back and I check the feed after. So comment and I'll just get back to you if I miss it during the live, or if you're watching a replay. I'll put some dimensionals on this. I'm putting a mix of large and mini, so the not regular dimensionals and mini dimensionals. Now, if you're fussy, just so you know, these are different heights, but it's minuscule. So, you can cut these up to smaller sizes. I don't think it matters in the sense of for this purpose, because your flowers are in any case not all at the same height, so you're going to get a nice balance of high and low flowers. So in this instance, I don't think it matters. If you were doing a frame or something, you'd want them all the same height. But if you are worried about that height difference and things like that, then use the same one. So I am making sure it's nicely, there are a few dimensionals there, just so it is nicely stuck on. And this, because sometimes little bits like the leaves and things can come off and lift, and then if I'm posting it, get caught and bend, and you don't want that. If you haven't, I don't know whether you've seen that I have a class for World Card Making Day. So if that is something that interests you, please register for that. The class is all inclusive, so you might need the basics of that, but everything is up there for you. So World Card Making Day is coming in October, but because it is an online, we'll be holding it via Zoom. It's just that because it's an online class, I have to get the staff, and via mail it's just taking a little bit longer to come through. Okay, I've just done that, and we're just gonna stick that down like that. Now if we have to get a sentiment, it's got a few sentiments. I told you how I cut that one up the other day. If you so I wouldn't use that, so I just wanted the sending healing thoughts, so I cut it. And I probably have made the other part cactus, but because it was so fine, and I'm quite okay with that. Okay, well, you this soft succulent for the sentiment. I am stamping before I die cut. If you can help it do that, sometimes it just makes you able to center the piece better. Sometimes you can't. Whatever works is fine. Whatever you're used to as well. It's just a matter of preference too. Okay. The other thing I've got is a piece of soft succulent, and who's got these ones on it, layers dies. It's an old one, a couple of years maybe, but I'm going to use this. So to think of your dies in different ways, I'm going to create a border for our sentiment with that part. So because we don't always need a full frame, but you can use portions of your dies to create something different. Watercoloring in itself is quite a simple technique, I think. It's it gives you a lot of leeway in coloring, allowance to fix things up, and it's nice. It's very relaxing too. So that's that. This little die comes with the Nature's Harvest die. Nature's Harvest? Yeah, that's the one we're working with. I get confused between some old sets that were very similar in name. So that's our sentiment. And we have this little strip. I haven't got like a big piece because we only need a little bit. So I am taking a little bit longer piece, which is okay than what we would require, but we have to cut it down. I'm going to run that through again because it's quite detailed, that die. It's very windy over here today. I don't know where. Here's my, I'm looking for my Take Pick tool. Here we are. That'll do the job of getting this stuff out if necessary. Okay. Alright, that's good. Right, so we are done there with that. Put that away. Put this one away. Alright. So what I've done, what I'm thinking of doing is this. However, you are going to have to cut it just on an, because if you cut it directly straight there, you're going to have a funny looking bit on the end. So you do want to cut it a little bit on an angle kind of thing. So, because you just want it on that bottom bit. So the best way to easily do it, just put a bit of glue on the base here, just at the bottom there. Then you can sort of maneuver it. Just going to get that there. And we we'll stick that. Didn't have on my original the little dots. You could have it. Well, we could have it there. Let's try it. Okay, just stick it right on the end there. And then okay, let's see. I have extra because in case it mucks up. That's about right. So I've got a little sentiment, and I've got a boy that I have to put on the end. So we can put our sentiment down. Just a couple of dimensionals, hold it in place. So that's the basic part done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've got some ribbon, and I'll show you the original what it was. So you will know this ribbon if you have some. You may have some. So this is the original ribbon, which I've cut in half. Now our artisans, the Stampin' Up! Artisan design team member Tammy Wilson showed us how to create some bows, which she does a magnificent job on. So I tried to replicate that. I still need practice, but it's a lot of fun, and it's just something to give a more fullness to your boards. So now I'm coloring this. This is pale papaya, but I'm coloring it with cinnamon cider stamping blend, the dark one, just to give it change its color. And in my blog post I have linked to Tammy's video, so you can have a look at how she created that, so you get it from the expert. So I basically cut the ribbon in half. I'm going to give it a bit of like a turn over and see whether I've missed any bits. It does go through, so you don't really need to be overly fussy because it does go through. I don't know whether you remember Billy Moan, M-O-A-N. I think she's American demonstrator from some years back. She used to do, I learned this from her. She did this magnificent bow with linen thread. She was good at that, and she did a nice video on that. And I learned how to do these multi loop bows. But I don't think she's a demo anymore. Not sure. So the soft succulent, I basically wanted to tie it in with my project. So I've probably about 40 centimeters there. I'm leaving a bit of overhang, and then it's a figure 8 twice over, so by what I could see. So bear in mind, this is probably my first time doing this method with the second time I should say, plus the mistakes I made. Right, so that's like, you probably may have done some of these with your single time, but it's just so much better with the double. Then pretend like you're doing another one, but bring it over and like loop it. Like, so you've got a loop, and and then bring those two through there. Hoping this works. It'll be funny if it doesn't. And then you pull it to the front, and it'll tighten. And I have a feeling it hasn't worked, so it'll be hilarious. If not, I will have to do my method. Let me try again. It's loosened as I tighten it. No, it might be right. Definitely watch the video. She does a better job than me. Yeah, it's right. It's tightened. That's fine. It's tightened bad. Her video is definitely better. So I am very new at this one. The other option is you can loop it twice, right? And then you can adjust it. I found you can adjust it as you fix it up. It does give you a nice, like, how do I say, nice feel with those long bits there. Yeah. So check my blog post for that. Trying to get that loop right. I think that needs to get tightened a bit more. Yeah. Yep. And then you can adjust it once you tighten it. Yes. So pulling it to the front, your little extra overhang, it just makes it easier to sits better. And that was a good trick that I learned from her video as well. And that will just sit like that, and then we can cut the excess off. I'm just going to adjust that a bit more so that it sits evenly, because you can see one side's bigger than the other, and we try and adjust that. And you can adjust that with your loops. Just bear with me while I fix it and work out which end is what. Yep, that's it. This is like a little what do you call, little puzzle, working out which puzzle piece is which. I think that'll do. We can fix it. I probably could do a better job there, definitely could do a better job there, but I'm gonna leave it at that. It's learning, isn't it? I'll show you the one I did before. When you do it live, it doesn't work. Alright, so then we have some little, these things, brushed metallic adhesive back dots. So it's got gold, copper and bronze. I will use the gold, and I put a few here on. I did tuck one in there, and which it kind of gets hidden when we put the bow, but we'll work it out. Then we have some of these little I always forget to use these guys, these bumblebee trinkets. So I will have measurements up, and on my, with my newsletter, I will have a tutorial for you just with the measurements and photos if you want to print it and get everything up, so it's easier, something to refer to. I'm like in the tutorial world at the moment, like writing so many fashion. I've got Card Club at the moment with Peaceful Deer bundle. So if that's something you like to get involved in, it's you can always try 1 month. You don't have to be obligated to be in that all the time. You know, you can try it and see if you like it, and give it a go. You get 8 materials to make 8 cards each month. You get $30 worth of product, and then at the end of 6 continuous months, you get to select $35 worth of free products. So that's good value for you. So you can, but you control your subscription, but you can also buy just 1 month if you just want to try it. So that's us. I probably will fix that later, but you definitely watch that video, which I have linked to in my blog post. For the basic gist is there, where I've created it's just the looping and things like that, but Tammy gives you a really good idea how to do that. This was the one I did earlier, just a bit tighter with that bow, and that's up on my blog. So I hope you have got some tips on how just learn some little bits and things with that. If that helps you, I hope that has. And I just decorated the card like that, and the envelope in the same way. I just stamped the stays on. So I hope you have enjoyed that and had fun, and maybe give that a try. Try the Nature's Harvest bundle and the suite. It is if that's your style, you will absolutely love it with the embossing folder. I've got a class coming up which I will be posting up tomorrow. That is my class in the mail, so keep an eye out for that, with several options for you which you can choose from. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll catch you later on. Bye for now.